Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and may you have a good day from my lecturer, Miss Najwa binti Ismail, and also my other fellow classmates. My name is Aisya Najwa binti AZAHAR. I am from IMS556 ELEK B. I will be presenting and introducing you about cloud computing. Some of the user might heard or know about it, but let me explain more about what does it mean by cloud computing and what are their benefits or risks by using it. What is cloud computing? Cloud computing is on-demand access via the internet to computing resources like application server, like physical servers and virtual servers, data storage, development tools, networking capabilities, and more. It is hosted at a remote data center managed by a cloud service provider, or we call it as CSP. The CSP makes these resources available for a monthly subscription fee or bills them according to the usage. The term cloud computing also refers to the technology that makes cloud work. This includes some form of visualized IT infrastructure, servers, operating system software, networking, and other infrastructure that's abstracted using special software so that it can be pulled and divided irrespective of physical hardware boundaries. For example, a single hardware server can be divided into multiple virtual servers. Next, virtualization enables cloud providers to make maximum use of their data center resources. Not surprisingly, many corporations have adopted the cloud delivery model for their own premises infrastructure so they can realize maximum utilization and cost savings versus traditional IT infrastructure, and also offer the same self-service and agility to their end users. Did you know if you use a computer or mobile device at home or at work, you almost certainly use some form of cloud computing every day, whether it's a cloud application like Google Gmail or Salesforce, streaming media like Netflix, or cloud file storage like Dropbox. Now, let's take a move to the benefits of cloud computing. First of all, as we know, software are the most network that have been used recently in order to make it easier and more faster. So, the cloud computing have involved lower IT costs. Cloud lets the user to offload some or most of the cost and effort of purchasing, installing, configuring, and managing your own on-premises infrastructures. Secondly, it is improved agility and time to value. With cloud, your organization can start using enterprise applications in minutes instead of waiting weeks or months for IT to respond to a request, purchase, and configure supporting hardware and install software. Cloud also lets you empower certain users, specifically developers and data scientists, in order to help themselves to software and support the infrastructures. Next, scale more easily and cost effectively. Cloud provides elasticity instead of purchasing excess capacity that sits unused during slow periods. You can scale capacity up and down in response to spikes and dips in traffic. You can also take advantage of your cloud provider's global network to spread your applications closer to users around the world. Furthermore, it can ensure the data loss can be prevented. Cloud providers offer backup and disaster recovery features. Storing data in the cloud rather than locally can help prevent data loss in the event of an emergency. such as hardware malfunctions, malicious threats, or even simple user's error. Wow, that's quite a lot about the good things when we use the cloud computing. But did you know that, however, it has a lot of benefits, but it still have their own risks that we need to go through? As you may assume from the introduction, the higher risk level for businesses looking to use or maintain their cloud solutions lies in the so-called human factor. Rather than the lack of reliability from the providers, the data shows that 95% of cloud security fails are due to this factor. So now, let's take a look at the risks of cloud computing. First of all, data security fails. If we look at this issue, the most important question is who has access to the company data and to what extent. Hackers look for a vulnerability, low-hanging fruits, and the aspects of access management is overlooked at most companies. With multiple users and several cloud environments to manage, making sure that there are no gaps can be difficult, especially for large organizations that use on-demand services with their own systems and tools. To put it simply, if the data is unseparate, shared with many users at once across multiple cloud platforms and not monitored, it is not safe. Secondly, compliance issues. As stated above, most of cloud providers are compliant and offer certificates for industry-wide data management norms. The services themselves may be secure, but it does not mean that they should not worry about internet standard compliance. Make sure that you can see compliance as an organization-wide issue, and also conduct a regular checkups or even use third-party bodies to assess the level of the compliance for all the resources, be it internal and external. Thirdly, lack of multi-cloud management strategy. Managing multiple cloud solutions at once is not an easy task. If you work at a large global organization that combines Amazon Web Service with Google Cloud and Microsoft Azure in its projects, developing a procedure on how it will be approached. The use of such complex combination is necessary. In this Gartner report on cloud migration, 81% of companies stated that they already work with 2 or more cloud providers. Next, non-authenticated API access. While using application programming interfaces for both external suppliers and the employers will help keep data in sync and automate their processes. This can also mean that the business will be more vulnerable to cyber attacks. Implementing a web application security system, adequate authorization as well as authorization protocols will ensure that the data is safe and also stays secure. And lastly, tenant separation control issues. According to Thomas Wojcicki, the risk of such a breach is low, and although it can happen, there is not something that occurs very often. It is worth mentioning nevertheless, as tenant separation control issues can pose a serious threat to medium-sized and large organizations when many users have access to the same cloud based on the resource. Failure to maintain separation between multiple tenants can lead to a vulnerability that, in turn, can be easily spotted and exploited by the hackers. In a nutshell, with 25% of organizations planning to move all their applications to cloud within the next year, it would seem that cloud computing use cases are limitless. But even for companies not planning a wholesale shift to the cloud, certain initiatives and cloud computing are a match made in IT heaven. Hence, that is all from me. Thank you for watching and Assalamualaikum.